Welcome, adjudicators, to another episode of this, where two fictional characters go head-to-head, armed with only their advocates, and you decide the outcome. Everything is disputed.
It is fantastic to see you again, my friend. How you been?
Oh, things have been good, man. Life does its thing, and you roll with the punches, throw a few counter blows, and keep standing. You
got to do what you can, man. I believe it. So, it's been a day or two. So, why don't we remind the folks who we are? After you, sir.
Okay. Why, thank you. What's up, nerds and blurs? I am Demond, father of 2, husband of 1, and the sensei of 17 syllables silliness. You may know me from such podcasts as Demond Does and In the Stack, the Library podcast, and I am the Squiggy of the Disputed podcast.
Thank you, Demond, and welcome, adjudicators. I am Dean. I would be the Lenny of the show. You can find me on so many podcasts now, I've lost count. However, if you head over to podskier.com, you can find them all and listen to them all. And we've got things going. Now I've started doing working on voiceover work. I got my booth set up and ready to go with that. So we'll see how that goes. So steps into things, man. So last episode, just a little over 4 weeks ago now, had longtime pals, Awesome and MCE Amazing, going head to head. And what was certainly one of the most close scraps we've seen thus far. So before we start giving out any information here, let's go to the tape. What do you say?
Back into the disputed arena. I guess here comes Kato. Oh, nice little handshake at the beginning. A couple
respectful.
Yeah, and then Wayne just comes out and punches him dead in the face. Ooh, nice. Okay. Oh, karate choppers. Nice little reversal by Kato. Okay. It's a very... Oh! There's been some good shots, man. Oh, Wayne throwing them hands. Throw them bows.
Oh,
Jack Reacher. Ooh, Jack Reacher watching from the aisleway. Interesting. Uh-oh, Jack Reacher. This has gotten crazy, man. Oh, a poison Rana by Kato. And he takes a shot to the mouth. Man, I tell you what, Wayne is down. Oh, my goodness. Jack Reacher put Kato's foot on the rope. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, my goodness. Wayne is... Oh, what the heck? He said, I will beat your ass up this aisle. You want this smoke? He's like, I am the baddest motherfucker. Let it get him. Dang it. But while he's sitting down, Kato's like, oh, I got my ass whooped. Don't tell me he won by count out.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Wow. He's like, hey, man,
And Wayne wasn't ready for any more smoke. Yeah. That was,
Wow,
yeah.
that was a controversial match finish.
Yeah, it was. And very, very close, like I said. So, yeah, surprising victory. Before anyone thinks it was just a few votes cast, because I know we've had some episodes where it's been like 8, 10, 11. There were 36 votes cast in this, which is well beyond the 25 that I have set as our goal. That being said, we have our victor with Cato at 52.8% of the vote.
Man.
That's how close it was. Wayne with 47.2%. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Wow. I am glad that we decided to have the video game videotape to decide these, because this was so close, and then everybody wound up with their heads up, and kind of both guys looked good coming out of it as far as the video goes. I'm surprised Kato won, and I am surprised that it was close, because Wayne has such, because of How Are You Now?
Yeah,
Has such a huge following. I figured Wayne would just be a walk, but honestly, if it was real, assuming, this is obviously assuming Bruce Lee is alive, Wayne, I'm pretty sure Jared Kiso would say he'd get dog walked. Wayne, maybe not so much.
Yeah, I think, honestly, fan service wise, I'm surprised that Wayne lost. But skill on skill, I kind of give it to I see it as Kato. So yeah, it's a huge congrats on the victory to your boy MC Amazing. Awesome as always, brings her A game, but sometimes fighting prowess just overrides that brute strength. So and again, loads and loads of gratitude to our buddies Keith and Heather Mackey for their awesome WWE 2K22 characters that they make for us on each episode. You can find them over on Twitter at Heather Mackey, that's MAKI1, and on Instagram at Soul Freedom 10, that's SOL Freedom the number 10. So, if you are ready, my friend,
I am.
Would you like to introduce this episode?
Yes, I would. This dispute brings together two powerhouses pummeling to press their pugilistic pressure and pound a pesky competitor. Who are these two masters of martial mayhem, you may ask? Only two of the most crippling contenders to ever crush a cranium. Get ready for the scrap of a lifetime as we bring together Jack Reacher and Jason Bourne to battle to the last. Everything is disputed.
Oh yeah. Woo.
Before we get into this, that was the most complicated script you've written before me so far.
I've got so many mixed words in there. Yeah, it's just I gotta try to trip you up, man. but you're there every time, always there. So I'm gonna start let's introduce our advocates for the evening, shall we? Because we got to get things going, because people are excited for this, I think. So let's start. Let me start off with. Back in the ring, we have a flawless victor in all aspects of the game, hailing from Charlotte, North Carolina, where at one point he dug graves for a living and has since begun hosting the Strange Things and Castle Rock Historical Society podcast. There are no pseudonyms for this advocate, so let me introduce you to our resident linguistic luchador, Arcadia Einstein. Arcadia, my friend, it's great to have you, man.
I thought you were going to say he had no alternate names, but I'm going to give him the one that's always late.
Well, it's. I guess late is better than not at all. Yeah. I'll take what I can get. So
I got a lot of East Coast things going on. You West Coast debutantes with your fancy time schedules.
It's 3:00 our time, so
I know.
just
You're
a little
taking
after
your time.
lunch. So, Acadia, tell us who you're advocating for this evening and what skills are you bringing to this dispute?
So I am advocating for Jack Reacher, whom you just saw expertly take the most powerful player off the board by distracting him and giving the count out to Kato. That was completely planned, and it makes complete sense. Reacher is, I mean, he's just if Frankenstein wasn't dead but alive, but basically had the same purpose, just kind of wander around and get into scraps. That's kind of Reacher. Skill.
All right. I love it. I'm looking forward to it. So, Demond, if you are ready, sir.
Our next advocate is back after claiming victory for a character foisted upon him at the last minute. Hailing from New York, while now living in Colorado. Keep your rolling papers close, because he is also known in the Letterkenny circles as the resident joint boy. Make some noise for Rene Encarnacion.
Me. Me. Who's that guy there? Look at him. Look at him looking like he's looking.
It's me. Hey.
If you're listening to this on the podcast, you need to join us when we actually film these things, because there's all kinds of chicanery that's also visual. So
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans, I say. Speaking of shenanigans, Renee,
What's
share
going on,
something
Al?
about yourself with us. And tell us who you
What's
are
going
and
on?
who
My
you're
name's
advocating.
Renee, host of the Perfectly Misfit podcast, frequent guest on the How Are You Now podcast,
Nope.
avid dick lover. I'm just all about the dicks. But today I will be, I don't know, how do I say this? I will be supporting and fighting for the non-cheating Jason Bourne.
All right. Everybody deserves a sucker punch sometimes. Well, if you guys are ready to go, I'm going to go ahead and list the rules for the debate. Both contestants will get a 5-minute opening statement followed by a 2-minute rebuttal from their opponent. We will be starting with Advocate 1 and then going to Advocate 2. And then after the opening statements and rebuttals, each of us in the hosts will get to ask a question where they will the contestants will have 2 minutes to answer. There may also be questions from the audience, which we'll put on the screen if you ask them. If you're on YouTube, you can get out there and post a question and we'll post it. And then finally, we will end with each advocate providing a 2-minute closing argument, and then we'll send you to vote. So, being that Advocate 1 is Acadia here, let me actually bring you over to here, Acadia, and then I'm going to do this and then add this to the stream. And if you are ready, let's go.
All right. Let's see. It's fall and it's time to dispute things. I'm saying this because for some reason I can't get it through my goddamn head that the opening's 5 minutes and not 4. So I only have 4 minutes worth of shit to say. Nice to meet you, Renee. And I heard that you were from New York. So is my wife and half the people in North Carolina. So hopefully you're happy out there in Colorado. I guess I'll start my thing and we'll see how it goes. When looking at planet Earth from space, you will technically be observing both Jack Reacher and Jason Bourne. Reacher would be easier to see because he's so large and mighty. Bourne is just Matt Damon size. I mean, he's not little, but he's not Jack Reacher. In this world, Bourne is the exact same height as Minnie Driver. So look that up. From this vantage point, if both men had gotten a message letting them know they had to kill the other one, you would see Bourne immediately hack into the satellite that Elon Musk uses to look at Alexandra Daddario in the shower, and find the location of our hero, Jack Reacher, in a matter of minutes. That location is in the parking lot of Pretty Bird Hot Chicken in downtown Salt Lake City, where he was just about to get a fried chicken sando combo. And within an hour, Bourne is on his way to the target using his multiple identities and pilfered Sky Miles points, and Reacher is on his way to the bus station to get a ticket from Minneapolis because the 15th annual Minnesota Blues Hall of Fame event is coming up, and he wants to catch the music jam led by Moses Oakland. All this is true things, by the way. Now, when we zoom into the music jam, we see Reacher in the crowd, weirdly emotionless as he enjoys the show. The gal behind him asks him to sit down. As she can't see, he explains that he is sitting down and vapors, as does her husband. Now, Bourne has snuck his way into the rafters of, I shit you not, Jimmy's Event Center, adjacent to their restaurant, Jimmy's Food and Drink, and connected to the Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites via indoor walkway. He has a clear shot at Reacher's massive melon, but he doesn't take it. He's not a killer anymore. He's not even Jason Bourne. He's David Webb, college professor. Damn his mission. Damn his programming. He's not going to kill this weird giant. Now, Reacher clocked him when he turned around to tell the gal he wasn't standing up, but he didn't do anything. He already used his old military connections and some library microfiche to find out how formidable Bourne was, and he wasn't sleeping on it. But any asshole can shoot a guy in the head from far away. That's just part of life. But he does need to deal with it, because Minnesota Blues kinds of sucks, and he wants to go to the Waffle House and rough up some thugs. So we zoom in on the indoor walkway connecting Jimmy's with the Holiday Inn Express. Bourne on one side and Reacher on the other. Because that's what we came for, right? The fist fight? I mean, they could shoot each other, but that's lame. They could get in a car chase, but neither of them would run. So who are they going to chase? They could kill each other a million different ways, so that isn't even a good way to measure it. The best way, I think, is to the pain. And if you don't know what to the pain means, you have a hole in your life, and you have to go watch Princess Bride right after you watch this show and vote for me. And note what Wesley says. That is what to the pain means. It means I leave you in anguish, wallowing in freakish misery forever. So let's get past the fight. And let's say that it was Reacher that looked like Beetle Bailey after the Sergeant cleaned him up. I mean, that would never happen because Reacher is too tough. But if we make pretend it happened, Bourne still loses. Because the next day, he still has to worry about who he really, really is, or whether someone is going to come up to him in Trader Joe's and say, persimmons don't fit in my mouth, triggering a whole new mission he has no choice but to undertake. Whoever wins the fight, it's Bourne who will wallow in freakish misery forever. Reacher won't. He does all his dirty deeds knowing full well what they are, and he sleeps like a baby. If the fight had been to the death, Bourne would have hesitated. Reacher wouldn't it? That's all you need to know. Bourne has existential crises about who he is and what he's done and what else someone else can make him do. Reacher rides the bus and hopes there's some townies harassing a gal at the next stop so he can break their bones. If Bourne fought Reacher before he knew who he really was, and it was just animal instinct and training, he would have had a chance. But he didn't do that. When he fought, he did know who he was. Right now, that means loser.
All right. That was something there.
That's always the best adjective I go for.
Wow.
That was a thing that you did.
That was definitely a thing. Out of many things, that is definitely one of them.
There's the words. They made sentences.
Whew, all right. All right. Renee, if you are ready, sir, let's go ahead and bring you up for 2 minutes. There we go. All right.
Oh, Reacher. He's a guy, you know. He gets out there, he does his thing. It's cool, I guess. But it was all pretty words and shit. That was really cute. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Jason Bourne is just, how do you say, he's MacGyver with a bigger dick. Sure, he's got his existential fucking self-identity issues. But even while working through all that, this dude has never failed a mission. This dude, yeah, sure, he might have fucking little Manchurian in him. Sure, this shit happens. But what are you gonna fucking do? This dude woke up not knowing who the fuck he is, where the fuck he came from, how he knows how to do all these fucking amazing fucking things, but still is able to fucking power through. While trying to figure himself out, this dude is still fucking kicking ass and taking names. Jason Bourne is really someone I would never want to meet in a dark alley. Reacher, you'd see him coming from a mile away, so I wouldn't even just go in the alley in the first place. It's a case of brute over intellect. While it's Reacher's just a big oaf. Like, yeah, cool. Looks like fucking Frankenstein. Like, that's not a thing I would ever want anybody to say about me. That's horrible. I mean, what? I wish one day I want to grow up to be just like Jason Bourne.
All right then. All right. So let's see. Let me pause over here. So both of you basically bank in 10 seconds. But Renee, let's go ahead with your 5-minute opening statement.
Yeah, like again, it's really what it comes down to is Jason Bourne is a very scary fucking dude. While he's unassuming, it is amazing that once again his brain is fucking fried, but he's always going to power through. He's always going to figure out how to get the job done. He's not going to have kids come in through the bedroom door during the middle of a show. He's also just I like that he's sensitive. The man gives a fuck. I mean, yeah. What was he saying? Reacher goes around looking to help defenseless ladies. Meanwhile, Bourne is out there doing some fucking real ass shit. Different countries. He's doing. It's just tough. It's really tough to. This conversation shouldn't even exist. Bourne is not even. He's not even gonna have to get within arm's reach of Reacher. That's the best part. It's like, that's what his Reacher's got. It's like, it's big shoulders. I got big shoulders, but I don't find myself that impressive. It's a very, very tough conversation. The two people are completely different entities. They're different anomalies at that. And how do you compare the two except saying, Reacher is just a big old oaf. Like Jason Bourne is powerful. Like we haven't even seen the full extent of Jason Bourne's abilities, in my opinion. He's a dude with limitless talents. He is so adaptable. It's fucking ridiculous. I can't ever see Jason Bourne ordering a chicken sandwich either. I don't know why. That man likes a nice arugula salad. That's where we're standing. This guy isn't eating greasy burgers at a fucking diner countertop with his big ass shoulders taking up 2 fucking bar stools. Like, come on now. I mean, it's a big old fucking oaf. What are we even talking about here? Like, Jesus Christ! This dude blows up everything. He leaves a fucking a 1 mile trail of damage behind him. Like, he's got no class. He's got no style. He's got no pizzazz. No je ne sais quoi. And I'm sorry for Reacher's a little too dumb to get that. He's like, I don't know what. And it's really tough. Like, I mean, how can you not love Jason Bourne always showing up, always coming through with the mission? Like, he's got the one freaking chick like in every single movie, but meanwhile, like, Reacher's gonna pretty much fuck anything and everything that moves. It's fucking pathetic, man. Like, all right, good, you got big old shoulders. What are we talking about here? The guy he's a human wrecking ball. Why would you want that around? It's just like everywhere he goes, trouble fucking follows. Jason Bourne's just trying to figure out who the fuck he is. Dude woke up and was like, holy shit, who the fuck am I and why can I kick so much ass? Reacher's just, a guy like, all right, I guess I'm out the army now. Might as well go fuck up other people's lives. Like, yeah, that's what we love with our veterans. Yeah. Come into my town with no jurisdiction whatsoever and just blow up buildings, fuck our women, beat up all our fucking local thugs. I mean, sure, they are deserving ass whipping. I mean, who the fuck are you, dude? You ain't a fucking popo. Get the fuck out of here, broad-shouldered son of a bitch. You know? All right, I got to stop talking about his shoulders. But I mean, what are you talking about?
You like those shoulders, don't you?
I really fucking do. I'm a little jealous. But still,
I mean,
hey, don't get me wrong, though.
Fuck out of you.
I'll take fucking Jason Bourne face over those shoulders all day. I mean, yeah, I love Bourne for that simple fact. The guy doesn't even know who the fuck he is, but he's still gonna like do what he got to fucking do. This guy's still serving our country, whether he's on paper or not. But you know, he's my Manchurian candidate.
All right. That's also something. Very, very much something. So, Acadia, let's give you a 2-minute rebuttal here.
I mean, it's wild that my guy is being called an oaf. Bourne only does what he's told, and his entire fucking plan is, I will go to this place and find a piece of paper with an arrow. I will follow that arrow and go to the next place and find out I used to like ring dings. Like, the fact is that he's formidable, but why is he formidable? Because everybody told him he was formidable. Sure, he memorized a bunch of license plates, but that's like fucking memorizing the list of losing lottery numbers. Who cares? Reacher has a photographic memory. He graduated from West Point, but instead of fucking getting all wound up, going, I have to go fight Mephisterlon, who stole the bearer bonds and the launch codes from the fucking Norwegian sea vault, he just goes, yeah, I'm going to go over to this town and see what's happening and throw my pants away for some reason. Bourne will do what he's told, and it doesn't matter who's holding the fucking remote. So, sure, he's on our side for now, but is he really? Like, he's just a blunt instrument. I mean, he's got little pointy bits. Don't get me wrong. I'm not doubting any of his abilities. I mean, whatever they stuck in the back of his head and matrixed into his brain, it was legit. He can do all that stuff and he knows all that stuff. But when you leave him to his own devices, what does he do? I'm gonna go teach college because I don't want to do any of the things I was trained to do. I choose specifically not to. And yes, Renee, you said before, you would not ever want to meet Jason Bourne in a dark alley. But the thing is that you would never meet Jason Bourne in a dark alley because he wouldn't go to one unless somebody told him to. He's just going to stay in his apartment.
I'll give you 10 seconds to finish your thought.
I mean, that's it. He's Bourne is a smart bomb. Reacher aimed it.
All right.
He has autonomy.
All right. Okay. Boy, oh boy. Take this out for a sec. So, yeah.
Ooh, lots of words.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Those are some words. Devon, would you like to ask Acadia a question?
I do. What are Reacher's okay, actually you know both these characters. What which one of Jason Bourne's strengths would give Reacher the hardest time?
Car driving. 100%.
Say again?
Car driving. Reacher is not an automotive man. He takes the fucking bus. He could have a car if he wanted, but he doesn't. He just takes the bus and walks everywhere. So
yeah, that's what you always want to wait for a hero to get off the bus. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's at the Greyhound station. He'll be here in about it. He's taking the 114 out of fucking Pennsylvania. Yeah, that's what you want in a hero. Mm-hmm.
Yep, because we want Bourne. It takes him 4 fucking movies to actually be the person chasing somebody. Every other time, he was the one getting chased.
Yeah.
Reacher would just stand in the middle of the street like Joker in The Dark Knight, waiting to get run over, and it wouldn't work.
Yeah, that doesn't sound oafish at all. Yeah, I mean, like again, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, yeah, he can drive a car. Like, how is that a quality that you're like worried about? Like, why would that? Like, this, yeah, again, this guy has to worry about bus fare.
No, he doesn't. He can pay it.
Oh shit! He missed the fucking 114. He's not going to be able to catch the. He's not going to be here for another 2 hours because he's going to catch the 214. Yeah. I always want my heroes to be coming off that Greyhound. Yeah, that's so.
Renee, I was looking at your little chart in the background, and it made me think: if you were to quantify both Jason Bourne and Jack Reacher as a strain of weed, what would the makeup of each be?
Jack Reacher would be Alaskan Thunderfuck. And
What, hang on, before you get to what is that one you just made up, or is that an actual one? And what's an
actual fucking string?
Okay, what's it comprised of?
If I remember correctly, it was a hybrid, a sativa leaning hybrid. And it had qualities of like a purple haze, but it's very buzzy, just like, stuff. I'm an indica man. I like to keep it chill. I like to, keep my eyes real fucking low. But yeah, an Alaskan Thunderfuck is just an obnoxious name, just like fucking Reacher's an obnoxious gun. So,
I ain't mad about it.
And so what's Bourne?
Bourne is Blue Dream. Blue Dream, I was also a hybrid, but indica leaning. Had a little bit of that sour diesel in him because he doesn't know much about his history, his past, so he's like kind of bitter. And but that dreamy part again, still trying to figure out what's going on in his fucking past. Sorry, he needs to be told where to go to fucking find out who the fuck he is. I mean, like, Jesus Christ, give him a fucking break. Fucking our government failed this man, and he's still thriving.
All right. Yeah, it just made me think. If anybody knew what strain any fighter would be.
I feel like Alaskan Thunderfuck also has broad shoulders.
Separate from this debate, Alaskan Thunderfuck, I'm just going to use as an adjective.
This guy right here, this guy's a real fucking Alaskan Thunderfuck right here.
You got to grind that shit twice. It's probably really sticky too.
Ew.
And by the way, if whoever's listening, I see we got a whole 2 people watching right now. If anybody's got a question, feel free to ask it. So you got anything else, Damon, that you'd like to ask?
Wow, I'm about to take. We'll see where it goes. This is for Arcadia. Another question about Reacher. How does Reacher, over as far as resources, seems to be one of Jason Bourne's advantages, at least from the early movies that I can remember. Anyway, so how would Reacher overcome the lack of resources in a battle against Bourne?
I think that his resources are not as meager as they seem, because Reacher actually does have friends, and friends that are still attached to the military and places that could give him some type of material support. Bourne doesn't have any friends. He has contacts. And so he doesn't have anybody that he can specifically rely on, but he also knows that somebody's going to drop a loot crate next to where he is so that he can be super good fighty man and empty it. Reacher isn't going to have that. So from a resource standpoint, Reacher would have a disadvantage. I mean, if it was a shoulder rocket propelled grenade fight, I'm pretty sure that Bourne could get one and Reacher could not. So I just give that one away. There's no way.
We always go back to the shoulders.
I was trying to weaken you.
With the broad-shouldered mountain.
So if let's see, where was I going to go? What would Bourne? So they're face to face, 10 paces apart. Renee, what is Bourne gonna do to get that first attack in?
Ooh. He's probably gonna have a finger on his cell phone in his pocket, set off like a distraction off towards Reacher's right, and then fucking that fucking good old throat chop. That's what I'm interested. Hit him with a fucking a fucking bobby pin to the throat.
So, what would the finishing move be?
I'm seeing a good old fashioned.
He's besting him. What's the finishing move?
I'm going good old fashioned neck spin, good old neck twist. One of those.
Right.
How else do you fucking take off? Jesus, I just remembered those shoulders. I don't know if I'm not sure his neck would actually be able to go that far around. Fuck, I didn't even think about that. Christ.
Maybe that's Reacher's finishing move on Bourne is you try to break his neck, but you end up breaking your arms.
I actually fucking see that. Katie might win that one. Just might have to give that one up. Fucking shoulders win everything. It fucking sucks.
So, Katie, what's Reacher's finishing move on Bourne?
So is it in a fight to the death?
Well, yeah, these two are fighters to the death. I
hate the idea of it, but also, and I'm going to use up some of my time. That concentrates thing you have behind you, Renee. Now I kind of want there to be a periodic table of action stars because I just kept thinking RE and then like BO and they'd all have their different properties.
That's nice.
Patent fucking pending on that. Anyways, as far as finishing move is concerned, I think that he would turn Bourne into Beetle Bailey and like after Sarge beat him up so that he was all like laying there all crinkled and whatever. And Bourne, who has been all wrapped up in all of this serious business and everything like that, and everything he's done has been so vitally fucking important that as he starts to bleed out, the last thing he would see is Reacher just walk away, not caring who the fuck he was. So not only would he be dead, he'd be sad.
So sad.
I don't think Reacher has emotions.
Anger and confusion are emotions.
Yeah, that's it. Confusion and anger and confusion.
All right. Let's go ahead and finish this off with our closing statements. We will start with Renee here. So if you are ready, Renee, go for it.
All right, blurs and nerds. How else do we wrap this up? Is that except saying, God, those shoulders. Jason Bourne has had a fucking tough life, man. If I remember correctly, he signed up for this, but also didn't sign up for this. It's just really fucking tragic that our government fucking failed this young man. I mean, he could have been somebody, and all he wants to do is find out who he is. And it's just, dude, I have to give all the love to Bourne. Like that really, could you imagine what that'd be like? Yeah, it's like not even just amnesia. It's like amnesia and like everybody wants to kill you and they can't, which is even funny. But like, it's a better story. He's a little, like I said, he's a little more suave. He's got a little more class. You know what I'm saying? The guy classes up the joint. Yeah, that's it, man.
All right. Okay. So you know what? I didn't even bring the damn clock on. You had a whole other minute left if you wanted.
Yeah.
If you wanted. All right. All right. Let's restart it in Acadia.
If you need somebody to fight some super secret sleeper agent on the edge of a volcano in order to ensure that the Quarthlon Syndicate does not take over, I don't know, fucking Google or some shit like that, then you would 100% call Bourne. But in every other situation of life, he went to teach college. The poor fucker's got so much PTSD. Some freshman asked him if this was going to be on the test, punched him right in the throat. So I think my main issue is not with what Bourne's talents are. I think the reason that he would lose to Reacher is because nobody in the circles that he travels would ever tell him, hey, you gotta go kill that Reacher guy who just fucking punched this hillbilly in the tit. It would never happen because Reacher is operating on a level that he chooses to operate on. Bourne is an experiment. Reacher is the fucking control. He's the one that they looked at to say, well, how do we make this better? And they said, well, make him friends with Ben Affleck. That was basically their entire move.
I don't know who that is.
That's not canon. So I guess the fact is that I respect Jason Bourne, but unless you specifically manufacture it so that somebody tells him he has to go kill Jack Reacher, he's just going to sit in his office at Sad University and wish that he had control over his own life. And of course, the camera would be shaky as fuck while you're looking at him doing it. But
I love this show so much. I could think of many worse things to do on a Saturday.
Yeah. I have to go do one of them, as a matter of fact, as soon as I get out here.
Oh, man. Well, at least one of us has a reservation at a steak restaurant this evening.
That would be the tall one.
Oh, man. So, now that we've heard all of the arguments, we want you now to go out to disputedpod.com/Reacher v Bourne. That is REACHER V BOURNE, and choose your victor. And hopefully, we will have one of these. They'll be in the final four. Right, yeah. That's the next. So yeah, we have one more bout, and then this is the third one of the second round. So the next to last.
Yep.
So yeah, go vote. Man, I'm looking forward to seeing who wins this one, because I think honestly this would be a really good, if they put these two together in a movie against each other. I think it would be excellent. So what did you get from all this, Demond?
Lots of laughter, and I got my stomach hurts because of it. This was every show is amazing in a different way. It's always the chemistry between us, Dean and I, and then the advocates, and it was another like perfect storm of nonsense with two awesome fighters. I have no idea who's going to win this one.
Me either.
And Reacher has broad shoulders.
He definitely does. I have no idea how this is going to turn out. But I have my thoughts for sure. I can't wait to hear what everybody says. So I'm gonna do some light plugs for us real quick before we do our sign off. Anything you need to know about us, you can go out to disputedpod.com/links, and you can find us in all our places. If you want to buy our merch, you can go to disputedpod.com/merch. And for everything that's on the Podskier Podcast Network, podskier.com, and go check all that stuff out. Guys, real quick, and I'll put the voting back up just before we go. Renee, one more time with your plugs.
Follow me on all my social networks, or whatever the fuck they're called, at BetYouIDid, as it says on my, should say somewhere on my name there, but BetYouIDid. Especially hit up my Instagram and Facebook. Please feel free to add me. I don't give a shit. I add everybody back. Follow my podcast on YouTube and Facebook, Perfectly Misfit. It's a show between two Army veterans where we just two dudes shitting around, mostly talking about podcasts and being fat and how much we love food and movies and shit like that. It's a good hang. It's a therapy session for me and my boy Dan every week, basically, to talk the shit that no one else wants to listen to.
Right on. I've been on there and it's been fun.
Yep. And also, I guess also looking forward to doing a very
the next
good episode
table
of How Are You Now, and then a couple of weeks. So
yeah, November 7th.
it's going to be a good
We
one.
will, yeah. Acadia, anything you'd
Hello.
like to plug?
Well, my Twitter is at Acadia, but it's not next to my name down there. Like, I actually got that name, and the national park isn't thrilled about it. But whatever, national park, fuck you. So, my main show is strangefulthings.com, and now I fucking make shit and peddle it, like name tags from companies like Umbrella and shit that don't really exist, that kind of thing. So that's
Nice.
been fun. And
That's cool.
we go to horror conventions and shit like that. But mainly you can find me on Twitter just saying shit that nobody answers. And I'll test you, Renee, because if you follow everybody back, that means you'll follow me back.
I'm feeling the love right now.
We've made a connection. We've made a connection.
I just want a
Connection.
follower that's not a bot.
Oh my God! I get so many of the sexy girl bot that just follow me right and left. I'm like, oh, yeah,
What?
okay.
You're a scam.
I literally I wonder if like girls like look through our fucking socials and shit when you're single. So I'm like, I wonder what girls must think when they see all those fucking big booty fake bitches on my Instagram followers. I'm like, I didn't sign up for this. Like,
No, I'm not following them back. They follow me.
weird.
Hey, I may be a dude with a libido. That just doesn't mean I want to follow any random whatever.
Big booty bitches. Big booty bitches.
Team. At the end, it goes, you guys have followers? Like,
One or two. Demand, what's going on next time?
Well, we'll be back to Thursdays for our next match on October 27th, where we will bring you the fourth and final scrap of the second round, meaning we're about to complete the final four.
Ooh, boy.
It'll be Beatrix Kiddo from the Kill Bill franchise versus, man, this is going to be good, from Amos from the Expanse franchise. So, until next time, I'm Damon.
I'm Dean. And remember,
Everything is disputed.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the episode. We are now asking you to go vote for your champion. We want to thank our advocates for their amazing defense of their champions. And finally, we'd like to thank the musical artists who created the music that helps make our show so great. We've got Hard Fight by Tajirigis, Game Changer by Icolix, Fight Club by Evil Bear Boris, Fight Makes Right by Atake, and This Party Sucks by Done With Fish. They can be found on freemusicarchive.org or on artlist.io. See you next time.